In the ancient past of Azeroth's history, the Titan Forged, also dubbed the Seed Races or the Titan Spawn, stand out as the formidable creations of the Pantheon. Forged from the very crust of the world, these armies were meticulously crafted to combat the sinister Black Empire of the Old Gods. In the beginning, guided by the Master Forger Khaz'goroth, the Pantheon sculpted a formidable army from the very essence of Azeroth's crust. The army consisted of the Aesir and the Vanir, colossal in stature and purpose. The Pantheon crafted the first generation into two distinct groups. The Aesir, fashioned from metal, wielded the fury of storms, and the Vanir, carved from stone, commanded the earth itself. These revered beings, later collectively known as the Watchers, served as stalwart guardians of Azeroth. As the war against the Old Gods raged on, the Keepers, entrusted with the task of safeguarding Azeroth, sought to replenish the ranks of the Titan Forged lost in battle. To achieve this, they delved into the mysteries of creation, fashioning new Titan Forged through the twin forges known as the Forge of Wills and the Forge of Origination. These forges not only replenished their numbers, but also imbued them with the strength and resolve needed to face the ever-looming threat of the Black Empire. Among the Watchers, a select few were imbued by the Pantheon's members with their own essence and powers, elevating them to leadership roles among the Titan Forged. These empowered guardians came to be known as the Nine Keepers, each bearing unique traits of their creators. Archaedes, empowered by Khaz'goroth; Freya, empowered by Eonar; Hodir and Thorim, empowered by Golganeth; Lokin and Mimiron, empowered by Norgannon; Odyn and Ra, empowered by Aman'Thul; and Tyr, empowered by Agrimar. With their army ready, the Titan Forged marched forth to wage war against the ancient evils that threatened Azeroth. This army, born from the very fabric of the world, was destined for greatness and glory on the battlefield. After crashing into Azeroth from the depths of the Great Dark Beyond, or just basically space, that's just what they call space in the WoW universe, the Old Gods plunged their twisted tentacles into the world's vulnerable surface, aiming for its budding world soul at its core. Their corruptive touch birthed two malevolent races from the oozing organic matter, the cunning Unraki and the resilient Akir. The Unraki, known as the Faceless Ones, took charge, using the insectoid Akir as their workforce to construct vast citadels and temples around the colossal forms of their malevolent masters, the Old Gods. The grandest of these structures rose around Yasharah, the most potent and malevolent of the Old Gods. This emerging civilization thrived near the heart of Azeroth's largest continent, spreading its tendrils of influence across the globe, eventually solidifying into the infamous Black Empire. This shadowy realm was characterized by immense sacrifices and eerie structures pulsing with void energy, casting a dark shadow over the world. The emergence of the Black Empire sparked concern among the Elemental Lords, the original inhabitants of Azeroth. The Elemental Lords were Neptulon, the Tidehunter; Therazane, the Stone Mother; Ragnaros, the Fire Lord; and Alakir, the Wind Lord. Recognizing the Old Gods as a dire threat to their sovereignty, the Elemental Lords took unprecedented action, banding together against this common foe. It marked a pivotal moment in Azeroth's history as the world spirits united in a bid to repel the encroaching darkness. Despite their united front, the Elemental Lords found themselves overwhelmed by the relentless hordes of Unraki and Akir. The Old Gods' forces proved too formidable, eventually leading to the subjugation of the Elemental Lords. With the native spirits subdued, the Black Empire expanded its dominion, casting a perpetual twilight over Azeroth. The world plunged into an era of unending darkness, marked by despair and suffering. A perpetual conflict raged as their twisted armies clashed in unending warfare. Led by the formidable Cathraxi warlord Zanaz, the forces of N'Zoth relentlessly battled against those of Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron. Amidst this chaos, N'Zoth suffered a significant defeat against Yasharah in what would later become the Broken Shore. However, true to his nature, even defeat proved advantageous for N'Zoth in the grand scheme of its malevolent plans. During the apex of the Black Empire's reign, the all-devouring Dementius entrusted the ancient staff of Voidsong to Xal'atath, the mysterious harbinger of the Void. Now, there really isn't anything more to Dementius giving Xal'atath the staff, so I'm not sure if they intend to expand on it in the future, or just wanted to connect it with her considering War Within is coming out in the future, and with her being a key figure it seems, they wanted to put something in the trading post that can be read as being hers, but wanted to throw it in there since it is noted on the wiki. But in my looking around, I couldn't find any future connection with her having that, or really any connection other than she received it from Dementius. Guided by the indomitable Keepers, the Titan Forge launched a relentless assault on the northern reaches of the Black Empire. Their arrival was like a thunderous clap, shattering the tranquility of the Old God's domain. With the might of the Pantheon's armies behind them, they became an unstoppable force, raining down divine fury upon their enemies. The Old Gods, caught off guard by the sudden and ferocious onslaught, scrambled to respond. They could not allow their grip on Azeroth to loosen. To counter the Titan Forge, the Old Gods summoned their most potent allies, the Elemental Lords. The Elemental Lords descended upon the Titan Forge in a violent onslaught. Faced with this multifaceted threat, the Keepers devised a cunning strategy. They divided their forces, each group tasked with confronting a specific Elemental Lord. Tyr and Odyn, renowned for their valor and prowess, volunteered to face Ragnaros the Fire Lord, the most destructive of the Elemental Lieutenants. The battle that ensued was cataclysmic, raging for weeks and scorching the land with flames and molten rock. Despite the Fire Lord's relentless assault, the Keeper's unyielding metal forms proved impervious to his fiery wrath. With unwavering determination, Tyr and Odyn pressed on, gradually forcing Ragnaros to retreat back to his volcanic lair in the east. In a landscape scarred by boiling acid seas and skies choked with ash, the two Keepers emerged victorious, their triumph a testament to their resilience and unwavering resolve. As the Titan Forge battled on multiple fronts, Archaedes and Freya focused their might on Therazane the Stone Mother, the elemental ruler of Earth. Seeking refuge within her formidable stone spire, Therazane hoped to shield herself and her minions from the onslaught. However, Archaedes, wielding his mastery over the Earth, he weakened the very foundation of the Citadel and shattered the rocky giants that guarded the area. Freya, in turn, summoned immense roots from the earth, interweaving the fortress in a vice-like grip. These colossal tendrils, with a will of their own, burrowed through rock and crystal, wrenching the citadel apart until its walls collapsed upon Therazane, sealing her fate. Meanwhile, Ra, Thorim, and Hodir engaged in a fierce aerial battle against Alakir the Windlord. With their command over the skies and tempests, they drove Alakir back to his mountainous lair, unleashing lightning and storms upon him. Despite his formidable powers, Alakir found himself overwhelmed by the combined might of the three Keepers. In a final desperate gambit, the Elemental Lord sought to wield the very forces of nature against his assailants. Yet in a stunning display of skill and resilience, Ra, Thorim, and Hodir turned Alakir's own powers against him, ultimately defeating him atop his wind-swept domain. As Neptulon the Tidehunter surged forth to aid his besieged brethren, Lokin and Mimiron cunningly intervened, disrupting his advance at every turn. Lokin, with his mastery of the arcane, froze and shattered the water elementals with precision, while Mimiron devised enchanted restraints to ensnare Neptulon himself, thwarting his efforts to join the fray. Despite the Elemental Lord's defeat, the Keepers understood that their essence was intertwined with Azeroth. Destroying them would only see them reborn in time. Ra, however, devised a solution reminiscent of Sargeras' tactics with demons: imprisonment. Joining forces with the formidable sorceress Helia, Ra orchestrated the creation of interlinked domains within a secluded pocket dimension, the Elemental Plane. This intricate plan culminated in the banishment of the Elemental Lords and the majority of their minions to this mystic prison realm, ensuring that they would remain contained and unable to wreak havoc upon Azeroth once more. After the defeat of the Elemental Lords, the Keepers took decisive action to ensure Azeroth's safety. Ragnaros and his fiery minions were banished to the scorching confines of the Firelands within the Elemental Plane. Therazane and her Earth Elementals found themselves imprisoned within the crystalline depths of Deepholm. Alakir and the Air Elementals were confined to the lofty heights of the Skywall, while Neptulon and the Water Elementals were drawn to the unfathomable deeps of the Abyssal Maw. With their leaders sealed away, only a handful of elementals remained on Azeroth's surface, their will to fight extinguished. Turning their attention to the remaining threats, the Keepers focused on the Akiri legions of the Black Empire. These insectoids dwelled in the vast catacombs beneath the world's surface, posing a lingering danger. Archaedes, using his command over earth and stone, collapsed the Akiri tunnels, forcing the creatures to the surface where they were met by the Titan Forged. The ensuing battle was fierce and unforgiving. The Titan Forged, determined to eradicate the Akiri threat, waged a relentless campaign. Though some Akiri managed to escape by burrowing deep underground, they were too weak to mount a significant counterattack. In time, the Akiri race was largely obliterated. leaving only scattered remnants unable to pose a serious threat again. The triumphs over the Akiran elemental lords bolstered the Keeper's spirits, but they were well aware that their greatest challenges still lay ahead. With unwavering resolve, they set their sights in the heart of the Black Empire, the colossal temple city housing the malevolent old god Yashara. The Keepers believed that by dismantling the bastion of the Enraki, they could deliver a decisive blow to their enemies. As they advanced, the Keepers and their allies encountered relentless waves of Enraki, each engagement leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The landscape became a haunting testament to the fierce struggle, littered with the shattered bodies of Titan-forged and Enraki alike. Yet undeterred, they pressed on, determined to confront Yashara himself. The confrontation with Yashara proved to be more daunting than anticipated. The malevolent old god wielded a power that corrupted the minds of the Titan-forged, exploiting their deepest fears and darkest thoughts. Fearing that Yashara would overwhelm their forces, the Pantheon made a momentous decision. Despite the potential consequences for Azeroth itself, they resolved to intervene directly, recognizing the urgency of the situation, the need to eliminate this grave threat once and for all. Aman'Thul reached down from the heavens and ripped Yashara from the planet's crust. By doing this, he inadvertently wounded Azeroth due to Yashara reaching its tendrils deep within Azeroth's crust. From that point, out of fear of harming Azeroth more, they knew they had to imprison the rest of the old gods and hoped that their evil will stay there forever. Before the Titans left the planet, they bestowed the Pillars of Creation onto the Keepers to aid them in shaping Azeroth. After the Titans departed, the Keepers undertook a series of monumental tasks to stabilize the slumbering world soul of Azeroth. They stemmed its bleeding, which gave rise to the mystical Well of Eternity, a wellspring of unimaginable power. Establishing Ulduar as their bastion, the Keepers worked tirelessly to forge a new order. They constructed the Forge of Origination, a marvel of engineering that could reshape the very essence of Azeroth, and the Forge of Wills, which crafted new Titan-forged races such as the Earthen and Mogu, each imbued with unique abilities and purposes. Through their ingenuity and dedication, the Keepers left an indelible mark on Azeroth's landscape, shaping its destiny in profound and enduring ways. Bound by chains forged of celestial might, the old gods were ensnared in a prison of their own making, their malevolence contained but never truly extinguished. Meanwhile, the elemental forces, bereft of their malevolent masters, were cast into the abyss, condemned to eternal strife and turmoil. Yet from the Forge of Unrest emerged a newfound tranquility. With the departure of the elementals, the world breathed a sigh of relief, nature reclaiming its rightful balance. And as the Titans surveyed their handiwork, they knew that the threat had been contained, and that a new era of peace and prosperity could dawn upon the world. Thus, with steadfast determination, they set to work, shaping the world into a realm of boundless wonder and possibility. In a daring gambit to counter the insidious threat posed by the old gods, the mighty Pantheon embarked on a bold experiment within the halls of Hodir. Delving deep into the mysteries of corruption, they sought to unravel the mysterious forces driving the relentless hunger of the ancient entities. Yet in their pursuit of a solution, the Titans unwittingly unleashed a force more formidable than they could have ever imagined. From the trials of their experiments emerged G'huun, a perfect embodiment of the insatiable appetite for corruption that plagued the world. Born from years of tireless experimentation and boundless curiosity, G'huun defied all attempts at containment, its essence pulsating with a malevolent vitality that threatened to consume all in its path. Faced with an adversary beyond their comprehension, the Titans were forced to take drastic action. In a desperate bid to stem the tides of darkness, G'huun was sealed within the depths of Uldir, its malevolent influence confined within the ancient halls. Yet even as the doors were sealed shut, the echoes of its presence reverberated throughout the ages, a grim reminder of the perils that lurked within the shadows. In the quest to shape the world, the Titans called forth diverse races to aid them in their monumental task. From the depths of the earth to the expanse of the seas, each race was bestowed with unique gifts and responsibilities. Crafted from magical living stone, the stalwart earthen were tasked with delving deep into the earth, carving out vast caverns and tunnels beneath the surface. Their sturdy forms and unyielding resolve made them the perfect guardians of the Titan subterranean realms. Guardians of the lush Vale of Eternal Blossoms, the stone Mogu stood as sentinels against any who would threaten the tranquility of this sacred land. With their towering stature and unwavering loyalty, they ensured that the Vale remained untouched by the ravages of time. Beneath the waves, the sea giants toiled tirelessly, dredging the seas and raising land from the seafloor to form the continents. Despite their immense size, their gentle nature belied their formidable strength, as they labored to shape the world according to the Titan's vision. Through countless ages, the Titans sculpted and molded the earth until at last a single continent emerged, a testament to their tireless efforts. At its heart lay the Well of Eternity, a shimmering pool of radiant energy that would serve as the lifeblood of the world. As life began to flourish upon the primordial land, the Titans beheld their creation with pride and reverence, and as the sun set on the final day of their labors, they christened the continent Kalimdor, the land of eternal starlight, a testament to the boundless potential that lay within its embrace. Establishing Ulduar as their bastion, the Keepers worked tirelessly to forge a new order. They constructed the Forge of Origination, a marvel of engineering that could reshape the very essence of Azeroth, and the Forge of Wills, which crafted more Titan Forge races such as the Earth and Imogu, each imbued with unique abilities and purposes. Through their ingenuity and dedication, the Keepers left an indelible mark on Azeroth's landscape, shaping its destiny in profound and enduring ways. Now I wanted to go over how the Aspects got their abilities, and what made the decision for the Titans to bless the Aspects with their powers from the beginning in the story, Dawn of the Aspects. But I won't cover everything from the novel. With Tyr being highly involved, it seemed like a good time to talk about it here, so let's dive into it. Once revered among his kin, Galakrond's transformation from benevolent hunter to fearsome terror sent ripples of dread through the lands of ancient Azeroth. The proto-dragons, once his companions, now cowered in fear at the mere mention of his name. The source of Galakrond's corruption lay hidden amidst the shores of Uldurus, where the sacred waters of the Dragon Isles mingled with the malevolent energies of Yogg-Saron. It was here that the Titan-forged relic, corrupted by ancient malice, granted Galakrond the power to grow and mutate at an alarming rate, unleashing chaos and destruction in his wake. As the tendrils of corruption tightened their grip upon the land, the fate of Azeroth hung in the balance, its future uncertain in the face of an ancient evil reborn. In the heart of a bustling hunting ground, Galakrond's sudden appearance cast a shadow of fear over the gathered masses. The once bountiful land, teeming with life, now stood as a grim testament to the terror that lurked within its depths. As whispers of confusion and apprehension spread among the proto-dragons, Malygos, with his keen intellect, questioned the inexplicable change in Galakrond's behavior. In response, his new friend Neltharion offered a simple explanation. More food lay within reach, ripe for the taking. Yet Malygos, ever the voice of reason, voiced his concerns, reminding his comrades that the bounties of the land were theirs by right. The notion of cannibalism, once unthinkable amongst their kind, now reared its grotesque head as Galakrond's insatiable hunger led him to prey upon his own kin. But the horror did not end there. With each victim claimed by Galakrond's ravenous maw, a sinister transformation took hold, twisting the fallen proto-dragons into grotesque abominations known as the Not Living. Enslaved to their master's will, they rose from the depths of death to serve as his unholy minions, harbingers of doom amidst the once serene landscape. Under the malevolent gaze of Galakrond, the nightmarish reign of the Not Living spread like a shadow across the land, their twisted forms haunting the once peaceful skies. At their master's command, they stalked their living kin. Their tainted fangs spread a dark contagion with each savage bite. Amidst the chaos, a young proto-dragon named Koros found himself drawn to the allure of power, believing that Galakrond, in his twisted wisdom, would spare those who pledged their loyalty to him. In a clandestine pact forged in shadows, Koros betrayed his brethren, offering up their secrets to the insatiable hunger of their monstrous tyrant. With treacherous whispers, Koros fed Galakrond the time and place of the impending assault, a strategic gambit to curry favor with the beast and secure his own survival. Yet as Galakrond soared into the skies, his thoughts consumed by the promise of a bountiful feast, Koros and his band believed themselves spared from his wrath. Their hopes shattered like fragile glass, Galakrond's deceit knew no bounds. In a swift and merciless display of dominance, he descended upon them like a wrathful god, devouring them whole as they fled in terror, their screams lost amidst the thunderous war of their conqueror. In a desperate bid to outmaneuver Galakrond's treachery, Talonixia, the chosen alpha among the living proto-dragons, devised a cunning strategy, altering their plans to strike at a different time and place. Yet even amidst their calculated precautions, the insidious influence of the Not Living proved to be their downfall. With eerie precision, Galakrond orchestrated a deadly trap, luring the unsuspecting proto-dragon into his clutches, bursting forth from the earth with primal fury. He decimated their ranks with a savage ferocity, leaving devastation in his wake. Despite Talanixia's efforts, the tide of battle turned against them, their forces shattered by Galakron's unstoppable onslaught. In the chaos that ensued, the dragon aspects Malygos, Nozdormu, and Neltharion rallied to their aid, thwarting Galakron's insatiable hunger with their formidable powers. As the battle raged on, Malygos, guided by a sense of urgency, sought out the elusive Ysera and Alexstrasza. Yet it was the intervention of the mysterious keeper Tyr that proved to be the turning point, his mighty hammer stunning the beast into submission. In a dramatic clash of titans, Galakron, driven to the brink of defeat, was forced to retreat, his plans thwarted by the unyielding courage of Azeroth's defenders. And though the battle may have been won, the echoes of their struggle would linger on, a reminder of the enduring resilience of those who dare to defy the darkness. In the hushed whispers of ancient mountains, Tyr convened with the 5 valiant proto-dragons, their resolve unwavering as they plotted the downfall of Galakron. With a strategic eye and a heart brimming with courage, Tyr revealed the opportune moment to strike, the perfect juncture to confront their monstrous adversary. As the shadows of twilight danced upon the rugged landscape, Tyr and his companions fortified themselves, replenishing their strength for the impending battle. With renewed vigor coursing through their veins, they converged upon Galakron's lair, their hearts aflame with righteous fury. Amidst the towering crags of Galakron's resting place, Tyr and the intrepid proto-dragons assembled, their spirits ablaze with determination as they prepared to face the monstrous titan once more. With a defiant roar, they launched themselves into the fray, their resolve unyielding despite the odds stacked against them. As Galakron loomed larger and more grotesque than ever before, the battlefield erupted into chaos, the air crackling with the searing energy of conflict. Amidst the swirling maelstrom of battle, the spark of Tyr shimmered with an ethereal brilliance, its radiant glow a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Yet even as Tyr unleashed his mighty hammer upon the monstrous titan, Galakron's mutated form proved impervious to his blows. With a sinister grin, the behemoth unleashed a ferocious gale, scattering his foes like leaves in the wind. In a moment of peril, Ysera, the ever-watchful guardian, appeared on the battlefield, her presence a ray of hope amidst the chaos. Yet as Galakron moved to devour her, Tyr's hammer rang out like a resounding echo of defiance, silencing the beast's laughter with a single mighty blow. With unwavering resolve, Tyr grappled with the monstrous titan, his blows raining down upon him with unrelenting fury. As Galakron thrashed beneath his assault, a profound transformation began to take hold, the corrupted influence receding to reveal the resemblance of a true dragon emerging from the depths of darkness. With a triumphant roar, Galakron claimed his prize, the gleaming artifacts and Tyr's hand vanishing within the carnivorous maw of the beast. Oblivious to the plight of his fallen foe, Galakron reveled in his newfound power, his form contorted by further mutation as the battle raged on. Unbeknownst to the triumphant monster, his adversaries slipped away into the night, their spirits unbroken despite the loss suffered on the battlefield. Amidst the chaotic clash of titans, the legendary artifacts of Tyr, the hammer of ancient power and the radiant spark of Tyr were torn from his grasp. With steady hands and unwavering focus, Malygos examined the gruesome wound, his heart heavy with the weight of their impending doom. Yet even as Galakron roared in triumph, his form swelling with newfound power, Malygos refused to yield to despair. Amidst the frigid embrace of a frozen lake, an unconscious Tyr lay silent upon the icy shore, his fate shrouded in mystery. As the proto-dragons grappled with the uncertainty of his disappearance, whispers of fear and suspicion filled the air. In the depths of their despair, a glimmer of hope emerged from the shadows in the form of 2 mysterious keepers, their presence a beacon of reassurance amidst the darkness. With solemn reverence, they revealed that they had taken Tyr home to recover, their motives veiled in secrecy yet their intentions clear, to safeguard Azeroth from the encroaching darkness. With Tyr out of commission for now, the burden of confronting Galakron fell on the shoulders of the proto-dragons, their resolve unyielding despite the daunting odds stacked against them. In a desperate bid for survival, they engaged the monstrous titan and his horde of not-living minions in a cataclysmic clash that would echo throughout the books of history. In a moment of brilliance, Malygos seized upon an opportunity to turn the tide of battle in their favor. With a mighty heave, he hurled a massive boulder down Galakron's throat, disrupting the monster's focus and sending shockwaves of confusion rippling through his ranks. As chaos engulfed the battlefield, Malygos's icy breath prevented the boulder from dislodging, trapping it firmly within Galakrond's throat. Yet the final blow came from an unexpected source as Neltharion, with a thunderous blast, sent a not-living hurling towards the obstruction, driving it deeper into the beast's gullet. With a mighty roar of defiance, Galakrond choked and sputtered, his monstrous form convulsing as life left from his twisted frame. In his final moments, the tyrant met his end, his reign of terror brought to a decisive and triumphant conclusion by the courage and determination of those who dared to defy him. In a bid to safeguard the fragile peace of Azeroth, the dragon aspects decided to conceal the grim truth of Galakrond's demise, weaving a web of deception to shield further generations from the horrors of his legacy. Embracing the whispered rumors that had people believing that the Titans had created the aspects from Galakrond, they sought to obscure the dark chapter of history that had threatened to cast a shadow over the realm. With Galakrond's monstrous reign finally brought to an end, the remnants of his existence became relics of both dread and fascination. Among these artifacts, a fragment of his formidable claw and the very boulder that sealed his fate found their resting place within the hollowed halls of Nal Sakal, nestled deep within the ancient confines of Zarlet Cavern. Guarded by the watchful eyes of the Black Dragonflight, these relics served as a solemn reminder of the price paid in the battle against tyranny. And though the echoes of Galakrond's reign may fade into the books of history, the memory of his malevolent legacy would endure as a cautionary tale for generations to come. In the wake of their victory over Galakrond, each proto-dragon was bestowed with divine gifts, entrusted with the sacred duty of safeguarding the realm of Azeroth and guiding its destiny. Alexstrasza and Ysera, blessed by the benevolent hand of Eonar, ascended to positions of unparalleled authority. Alexstrasza the Lifebinder was charged with the solemn duty of protecting every living being that roamed the world, while Ysera the Dreamer was tasked with nurturing and preserving the untamed beauty of nature from her ethereal realm, the Emerald Dream. Nozdormu, granted the wisdom of Aman'Thul himself, assumed the mantle of Timekeeper, entrusted with the sacred task of safeguarding the intricate tapestry of time itself, ensuring that the threads of fate remained unbroken. Malygos, chosen by the mystifying Norgannon, was anointed as the Arcanist, the guardian of magic and the arcane mysteries that lay hidden within the fabric of reality. And lastly, Neltharion, blessed by the mighty Khaz'goroth, emerged as the Earth Warden, bestowed with dominion over the very Earth itself and the deep recesses that lay beneath its surface. Together, these newly anointed leaders stood as pillars of strength and guardians of the realm, their destinies intertwined with the fate of Azeroth itself. And as they took up their sacred duties, they vowed to protect their world with unwavering resolve, forging a legacy that would endure for eternity. In a display of unwavering loyalty and craftsmanship, Tyr's steadfast friend Jotun fashioned a replacement for his severed hand, an intricate closed fist forged from shimmering silver. A testament to their bond, Jotun also emblazed Tyr's new silver hand symbol onto his mighty hammer, a gesture of solidarity and resilience. Curious about Tyr's decision to showcase his wound, Jotun questioned the wisdom of drawing attention to his injury. Yet, Tyr's response was one of unwavering conviction. To him, his argent hand was not a symbol of defeat, but rather a testament to the sacrifices made in defense of Azeroth. With pride in his heart, he sought to share this message with the world, transforming his hammer into the legendary Silver Hand, a beacon of hope and resilience for all who beheld it. In the wake of the Dragon Aspect's ascension, Tyr embarked on a noble endeavor crafting the Refti, a Titan-forged race destined to serve in harmony alongside the dragons. To accommodate his new allies, he constructed the grand facility known as Oldurus, a sanctuary that would come to be affectionately dubbed Tyrhold by the dragons. Though initially embarrassed by the moniker, Tyr's enduring legacy would leave an indelible mark upon the world, his creation serving as a testament to his unwavering dedication to the cause of peace and unity. And though his journey may have been fraught with challenges and setbacks, Tyr's spirit would live on through the generations, a guiding light in the darkest times. Now I want to talk about the Keepers themselves in more detail, but only a few of them really have a deep background, while others just have a few paragraphs. So the ones with more detail I'll talk about first, and then the ones with less I'll talk about at the end in more of a group talk. The ones with more backstory are Lokin, Freya, Odyn, and Ra. Tyr is kinda in that list, but after covering Dawn of the Aspects, his is kinda in the middle. But first, let's talk about Freya. In the ancient tapestry of Azeroth's creation, Freya brought forth the Emerald Dream during the cosmic orchestration known as the Ordering of Azeroth. The whispers of lore echo conflicting tales. Some weave the narrative of Freya conjuring the dream from the void, while others contend that this ethereal realm was a slumbering daydream within Azeroth's world soul. a dream that Freya skillfully shaped into the mysterious canvas now celebrated as the Dream, a conduit to commune with the blossoming Titan's essence. Amidst the verdant embrace of the Emerald Dream, Freya planted the majestic Gungnir, the Mother Tree, atop a lofty peak. This colossal tree bore fruits and flowers, unleashing a cascade of life that rippled through the Dream's landscapes. While Freya crafted numerous pools of life across this ethereal realm, Gungnir stood as the premier genesis, towering in splendor and radiance. For eons, Gungnir served as a wellspring of healing and equilibrium. Its influence stretched beyond the Dream into the tangible realm, a guiding force for Azeroth's natural essence. Freya's wanderlust led her across the world, in pursuit of locations where the energies of the Well of Eternity came together. In these mystical areas, she meticulously shaped a tapestry of life so diverse and astounding that it became a testament to her mastery. These sacred sites, now veiled in the mysteries of time, grace the polar extremes of the world. Ungoro Crater, Sholazar Basin, and the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, once bearing names whispered by Freya's lips, became landscapes of unparalleled beauty and diversity, resonating with the echoes of her primordial artistry. Embarking on her quest to infuse the world with vitality, Freya planted a seed of creation in the emerging land of Pandaria, nestled close to the potent energies of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. This seed gave rise to Fuzan, the first tree guardian, whose roots delved deep into the resonant power of the Vale. As Fuzan flourished, a verdant symphony unfolded, birthing towering trees that stood as guardians of the Dream and manifested their vibrant counterparts in the waking world of Pandaria. Every lush forest that graced this mystical realm traced its lineage back to Fuzan, the pioneering tree that wove the essence of life throughout the heart of Pandaria. From Freya's hidden sanctuaries, a select few untamed creatures transcended ordinary bounds, surpassing all expectations with their extraordinary might. These magnificent beings earned the title of the Wild Gods. In Freya's eyes, they were her progeny, intricately woven into the fabric of the Emerald Dream. Together, they roamed the primeval landscapes of Kalimdor, a familial bond uniting them as they embarked on their celestial journey. Mount Hyjal, bathed in the ancient echoes of their presence, bore witness to the shared odyssey of Freya and her formidable wild gods. Prior to embarking on her journey to breathe life into the border realms of Azeroth, Freya fashioned a wandering staff from a branch of Fuzan, christening it Fuzan, the Wanderer's Companion. This enchanted walking stick became a timeless artifact, accompanying her throughout the vast expanse of creation. In the heart of Sholazar Basin, Freya wove the Avatar of Freya into existence, an ethereal failsafe to stand sentinel over the region in her stead, a guardian born from necessity, poised to watch over the land should the threads of Freya's presence ever falter. During her odyssey across Azeroth, seeking extraordinary creatures, Freya stumbled upon a scene of nature's struggle, a panther cub, valiantly fending off a wolf pack after losing her mother. Undeterred by her wounds, the resilient cub fought with primal ferocity, driving the wolves away. Enchanted by this untamed spirit, Freya cradled the panther, her joy undiminished by the scratches that followed. She mended the cub's wounds and christened her Ashamain, a tribute to the striking black fur that embodied the wild essence within. In the enchanting realm of Grizzly Hills, Freya encountered a pair of youthful and inquisitive bears, Ursoc and Ursul. Perceiving the latent greatness within them, Freya glimpsed the destinies they would weave. Bestowing upon Ursoc the mighty claws of Ursoc, intricately forged from the very essence of Titan steel, she marked him as the guardian of these formidable talons. Throughout the tapestry of countless battles, Ursoc wielded these sacred claws until his valiant demise amid the tumultuous events of the War of the Ancients. In addition to the wild gods she had already discovered, she found 4 more who exemplified an unwavering commitment to peace and wisdom: Yu'lon, Nuzao, Zhuan, and Chi-Ji, revered for their celestial grace, eventually earned the title of the August Celestials among Pandaria's native inhabitants. Freya, with her foresight, knew that these divine beings would be instrumental in safeguarding the region. In a touching encounter, Freya shared her apprehension with the Celestials about an encroaching darkness from the north, sensing an imminent confrontation. Entrusting her cherished staff Fuzan to their care, Freya uttered a solemn request: "If I do not see you again, return this staff to Azeroth, to one of its children. Give it to someone who loathes battle and loves peace." Yu'lon, the Jade Serpent, pledged to safeguard the staff. Regrettably, Freya's return never materialized. as she fell victim to defeat at the hands of Lokin and succumbed to enslavement by Yogg-Saron, leaving the staff and her unfulfilled wish in the embrace of Pandaria's mysterious celestials. Now we move on to the one who caused so much trouble for us on Azeroth and the other keepers, Lokin. A keeper forged by the Pantheon to lead the Titan-forged armies against the Old Gods, received his power from Norgannon. In a fierce battle alongside Mimiron, they triumphed over Neptulon the Tidehunter. However, Lokin's life took a tragic turn when an affair with Sif, his brother Thorim's wife, led to a disastrous accident. Manipulated by the imprisoned Yogg-Saron, Lokin, driven by fear of losing Sif, inadvertently caused her death. Overwhelmed with guilt but afraid to confess to Thorim, Lokin deceived his brother, blaming Arngrim, the king of frost giants, for the tragedy. To end the ensuing war, Lokin created an army using the Forge of Wills, unknowingly spreading the curse of flesh that would transform Titan Forged into flesh. Desperate to conceal his actions, Lokin orchestrated Mimiron's death, subdued Hodir and Freya with Yogg-Saron's corruption, and convinced Helya to imprison Odyn in the Halls of Valor. Learning of the Pantheon's demise, he exiled all Titan Force from Ulduar and withdrew into its depths. The only witnesses to Lokin's betrayal were Tyr and Archaedes, who alongside Ironea and allies stole the discs of Norgannon to uncover the extent of his treachery. In pursuit, Lokin sent monstrous Cathraxi, but Tyr sacrificed himself, allowing his comrades to escape with the discs. Terrified of the consequences if Tyr's group exposed his actions to Algalon, Lokin fabricated the Tribunal of Ages, filling it with false information to cover his tracks, manipulating the signal to Algalon. He ensured no living being could contact him until Lokin's death. The complex web of deception and tragedy unfolded within the shadows of Ulduar's depths. For countless millennia, Yogg-Saron languished in captivity, holding the Keepers, including Lokin, in a muted state within Ulduar. His control over them was feeble, and attempts to persuade them into directly aiding the Old God had met with resistance. The turning point came when Cho'Gall, a member of the Old God-worshipping Twilight Hammers clan, infiltrated Ulduar, weakening Yogg-Saron's chains. Suddenly, the entity's influence of the Keepers intensified, transforming as sturdy as iron. Under Yogg-Saron's command, Lokin was tasked with using the Forge of Wills to fashion a new army. In Lokin's skilled hands, the Forge unleashed hordes of iron dwarves in Vrykul, hungry only for bloodshed and war. During the war against the Lich King, Thorim, aided by adventurers aligned with the Sons of Hodir, unraveled the truth and reclaimed his weapon and armor. Fueled by righteous fury, he confronted his treacherous brother in a bid for justice. However, it proved to be an intricate deception orchestrated by Lokin. The ruse successfully lured Thorim from the safety of the Temple of Storms, where proximity to his Dark Master granted Lokin the power to withstand Thorim's assault. Subsequently, Lokin captured Thorim and his loyal proto-drake Varanus, intending to plunge them into madness through the influence of Yogg-Saron. Lokin's schemes extended to enlisting Ignis the Furnace Master for transformative tasks. One notable instance involving morphing Varanus into the formidable plated monstrosity known as Razor Scale. Additionally, Lokin commissioned the creation of Kolagarn, a colossal stone construct to guard the shattered walkway leading to Ulduar's inner halls. Upon Lokin's demise in the Halls of Lightning, he ominously proclaimed that his death heralded the world's end. The map of Azeroth erupted in flames, launching a beacon of light skyward. As revealed by the Archivum Console in Ulduar, Lokin's death triggered the Algalon failsafe, an emergency signal leading to the arrival of Algalon the Observer. This signaled potential planetary failure, initiating a diagnostic process with two possible outcomes. Reply code Alpha indicated all was well, while reply code Omega signified planetary reorigination. When questioned about the latter, the console explained the Titan's plan: the complete destruction of Azeroth and its lifeforms, followed by the meticulous reconstruction of the planet from its base elements. In essence, the dire warning in Lokin's dying breath hinted at the catastrophic consequence of his demise, a potential reset of Azeroth through the Titan's reorigination process. Odyn, renowned for his leadership and valor, he commanded the Titan-forged armies in their relentless crusade against the malevolent forces of the Old Gods. Infused with the potent powers of Aman'Thul, Odyn stood as a beacon of strength and resilience. In a pivotal moment, Odyn alongside his stalwart ally Tyr faced the fiery fury of Ragnaros the Fire Lord, prevailing over the Elemental Lord in a battle that resonated throughout the scrolls of history. For his unwavering leadership, indomitable spirit, and unwavering commitment to Azeroth's safety, Odyn was bestowed with the prestigious title of Prime Designate. entrusted with the crucial task of overseeing Yogg-Saron's imprisonment and safeguarding the Forge of Wills, a cornerstone of Titanforge creation. In a gesture of recognition and trust, Odyn gifted his loyal companion Heimdall with a Yaller horn, a mystical horn whose vibrant call signals the impending doom of Azeroth, compelling the Keepers to heed its summons and unite in defense of the world they swore to protect. When the Keepers deliberated on empowering the dragon aspects for their bravery against Galakrond, Odyn stood apart, vehemently opposing the idea. In his unwavering conviction, he argued that only the Titanforge could be trusted as defenders of Azeroth, casting doubt on the reliability of the proto-dragons. Determined to forge his own elite army, one characterized by unwavering loyalty and valor, Odyn set his sights on the Vrykul as the ideal candidates to fulfill his vision. Despite Odyn's objections, the Pantheon chose to empower the dragon aspects, a decision that drove Odyn to take drastic action. He severed ties with his prestigious position as Prime Designate, and using his formidable powers, lifted a portion of Ulduar into the skies, thus birthing the majestic Halls of Valor. This act symbolized his unwavering commitment to his cause, even at the cost of his former status. In a daring and fateful move, Odyn made a pact with Muuzela, an ally of the malevolent jailer Zoval, sacrificing his own eye in exchange for the ability to peer into the mysterious realm of the Shadowlands. It was during this visionary exploration that Odyn beheld the Kyrian, a noble order of ascended beings, whose presence and purpose inspired him to conceive a realm akin to their bastion for himself. Driven by his unyielding belief in the superiority of the Titanforged, he devised a grand scheme to bolster his forces in the Halls of Valor. He promised the Vrykul that those who met a valiant end in battle would be granted a place in his halls, bestowed with immortal bodies infused with the fierce power of the storm. In his eyes, these warriors, dubbed Valajar, would surpass the dragon aspects in defending Azeroth. To fulfill his promise, Odyn required willing Vrykul to undergo a transformation into Valkyr, tasked with retrieving the spirits of fallen heroes from the Shadowlands. Inspired by the noble Kyrian, whom he'd glimpsed in his visions, Odyn believed this was the key to bolstering his ranks with the bravest souls. However, the Vrykul hesitated, wary of the implications of such a transformation. Odyn's adopted daughter Helya, a Titanforged, pleaded with him to reconsider, foreseeing the potential dangers. Ignoring her warnings, Odyn forcefully transformed Helya into the first Valkyr, commanding her to carry out this crucial task. In a twisted turn of events, Odyn later deceived his followers, claiming that Helya's transformation was a result of her own hubris. He fabricated a tale of her reaching out for power from the Shadowlands during their disagreement, leading to her transformation into a wraith-like being. Supposedly, she then begged for his forgiveness and requested to be made a Valkyr as a form of redemption. This deceitful narrative further solidified Odyn's control over his followers, masking the true circumstances of Helya's tragic transformation. For millennia, Helya harbored a deep-seated grudge against Odyn, simmering with resentment. Her animosity festered until the fateful day when Lokin, a keeper twisted by the insidious whispers of Yogg-Saron, cunningly manipulated her into betraying her father figure. Empowered by dark magic, Helya wielded a force that rivaled the ancient spells used to seal the elemental plane. With this newfound strength, she imprisoned Odyn and his Valajar warriors within the majestic Halls of Valor, effectively cutting them off from the world they had sworn to protect. Seizing the opportunity to assert her newfound authority, Helya established Helheim, a grim realm where she claimed the souls of fallen Vrykul. This marked a stark departure from Odyn's promise of eternal glory in the Halls of Valor, instead consigning the departed to a fate of eternal servitude in her domain. Aegir ascended to the role of leader of the Valkyr, replacing Helya. Meanwhile, Lokin seized the title of Prime Designate from Odyn, completing a chain of events that reshaped the hierarchy of Azeroth's protectors. Amidst the chaos of the Third Burning Legion invasion, Odyn, still ensnared within the Halls of Valor, orchestrated a daring rescue. Through the agency of one of his Valkyr, he plucked a valiant warrior from the jaws of death. Recognizing the hero's unique status, unbound by the confines of the Hall, Odyn anointed them as the leader of the Valajar, entrusting them with the crucial task of combating the Legion's onslaught. As the Legion's shadow loomed even larger, Odyn devised a series of trials to assess the worthiness of Azeroth's champions. Disguised as Javi in the rugged expanse of Stormheim, he observed the champions, testing their mettle, strength, and determination. Only those deemed worthy of Odin's exacting standards were granted access to the Gates of Valor, a testament to their valor and resolve. Furthermore, Odin orchestrated a formidable duel within the hollowed halls of the Halls of Valor. Here, the champions faced off against the mightiest of foes to prove their prowess and determination. Only those who emerged victorious were deemed worthy of wielding the legendary Aegis of Agrimar, a symbol of their strength and valor in the face of overwhelming odds. Through these trials, Odin sought champions who embodied the virtues of courage, strength, and indomitable will, forging a formidable force to stand against the relentless tide of the Burning Legion. When Helia's treachery became apparent, twisting Odin's loyal Storm-forged Valajar into the malevolent Hodir, the Keeper reached his breaking point. Determined to put an end to her machinations, Odin resolved to confront her once and for all, refusing to be a pawn in her deadly game. Assuming the guise of Havi, Odin joined forces with esteemed champions such as Khadgar and Velen, gathering at Krasus' landing to deliberate on the crucial matter of the Pillars of Creation. His presence among the Order Hall of Champions underscored his commitment to the cause of Azeroth's defense, despite the shadows of betrayal that loomed over him. Additionally, Odin extended a rare invitation to the Huntmaster of the Unseen Path, granting them access to the Night of the Wilds. This mystical event heralded the awakening of legendary beast spirits, an awe-inspiring spectacle in the field of the Eternal Hunt. In a show of his unwavering dedication to finding the mightiest warriors, Odin annually conducted a rigorous trial for his Valajar. Known as the Battle Lord, this warrior was subjected to a series of grueling tests, designed to determine the land's strongest combatant. These trials not only showcased Odin's relentless pursuit of excellence, but also emphasized the valor and strength he sought in his champions. In the wake of the Legion's devastating incursion, Stormheim became a focal point for heroes of unparalleled valor. Odin, recognizing the potential of these champions to turn the tide against his ancient foe, Helia, devised the ultimate challenge, the Trial of Valor. This crucible was not just a test of strength, but a pivotal moment that could finally break Helia's grip on Helheim and secure Odin's long-awaited freedom. With the fall of Helia, the chains that bound Odin to the Halls of Valor were shattered. Free at last, he contemplated the passage of time, acknowledging that it had been eons since he had last beheld the grandeur of Ulduar. Perhaps, he mused, it was time to reunite with his kin, the Watchers, and reflect on the battles won and lost over the ages. Among the spoils of Helia's defeat was her horn, a powerful artifact capable of commanding the cursed legions of Kvaldir. Recognizing this strategic value, Odin entrusted the Battle Lord with a crucial mission, to wield the horn and lead the Kvaldir against the Legion's forces on the Broken Shore. This bold maneuver would not only strike a blow against the Legion, but also demonstrate the newfound freedom and autonomy of the Valajar under Odin's leadership. During the war against the Jailer, Odin's Valkyr mysteriously vanished one by one. Even those sent to search for their missing sisters failed to return. A daring adventurer navigating the treacherous maw stumbled upon Danica the Reclaimer, a Valkyr held captive by the Jailer's forces. Upon her liberation, Danica unveiled a harrowing truth to Odin. Helia, thought vanquished, still lived, corrupting his Valkyr into Maw-sworn, with the eye of the Jailer, once Odin's own eye. Enraged by this betrayal, Odin decreed that such an affront could not be left unanswered. Charging the heroes with a monumental task, he ordered the creation of the Ilska Horn, an artifact designed to lure the eye of the Jailer into combat. Additionally, the heroes were tasked with recruiting a group of valiant Valkyr, led by Danica, to join the fray against this insidious threat. Through sheer determination and unwavering courage, the heroes and their Valkyr allies confronted and vanquished the Eye of the Jailer, forcing it to retreat to its master's stronghold in Torghast. This triumph ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of Odin and his allies, bolstering their resolve to press forward in their battle against Soval the Jailer, confident the victory was in their grasp. In his hubris, Odin dismissed the plights of the dragons as inconsequential, commanding the Thawagnir to ignore the summons of the Dragon Isles. Enraged by his ignorance, Viranoth, a prominent member of the Thawagnir, rallied champions including Rathion to confront Odin and challenge his callous decree. The confrontation quickly escalated as Odin, stung by accusations of cowardice, lashed out in a furious onslaught.
Enough of this foolishness!
I agree. Dragons of the Storm, You are true dragons, not constructs beholden to an unworthy keeper. You are free to choose your own path. If you wish it, there is a home for you on the Dragon Isles. Join your kin and claim your birthright.
So before we dive into talking about Ra, I wanted to explain some of my confusion when I was looking more into this. The Wiki and Chronicles seem to have different info. On the Wiki, it is said that the Pantheon did the ordering of Azeroth and didn't depart Azeroth until the aspects were chosen. But from what I've read in Chronicles, it is the Titan Forge who ordered Azeroth after the Pantheon left following Yashara being ripped from the planet's crust. In Chronicles, it is said that the Keepers bestowed the blessing of the Pantheon onto the aspects. Chronicles even has the Pantheon's departure section before the Galakron section. Also, it is mentioned with the ordering of Azeroth that the Titan Forge made the various beings needed to help order Azeroth. But the Wiki says the Pantheon did, which wouldn't make sense since the Titans made the Titan Forged since they could not set foot on Azeroth due to fear of harming her since they're gigantic. They're literally planet-sized beings. Now one more thing is that the Wiki mentions that the Pantheon did research for G'huun and trapped him within Uldir. But I don't know how they did the research there since, as I mentioned before, they can't be on the surface due to their size. Unless they used avatars similar to what Sargeras used on his adventures, or it was a Titan Forged who did the research and then locked G'huun away. But the Wiki says the Pantheon did. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to go with the Titan Forge did everything with the ordering and such, especially after the two forges, which allowed them to craft more beings to help them with such a task. Now this isn't the first time that I've had this sort of confusion between what I've known from Chronicles to what I've actually found on the Wiki. I'm not sure if just whoever wrote the Wiki just mistyped, or if there's some sort of conflicting stuff within the game. Because even within the game, there's actually a book you can find at various locations in the game that says the Pantheon did a lot of this stuff. So I'm not exactly sure, but from what I've read in Chronicles, the Titan Forge did the ordering thanks to the Pillars of Creation, plus the Titan Forge that they were able to craft like the Earthen and the Mogu. So that's the basics of my confusion while doing the research for this video. But I wanted to add in both sides of it and explain what I had found so people know. Hopefully it isn't too confusing, because my brain hurts. Alrighty, now that I've hopefully explained that in a somewhat cohesive way, let's dive into Ra's history. Among the ranks of the Titan Forged, Ra stood as a formidable creation, crafted by the Titans themselves to combat the insidious threat of the old gods plaguing Azeroth. Highkeeper Ra, akin to Odyn, was one such empowered being, bestowed with his might by Aman'Thul, the High Father of the Pantheon. Aman'Thul also entrusted Ra with a powerful artifact known as the Fist of Ra-Den. This artifact not only breathed life into the Titan-forged Mogu race, but also served as a formidable weapon in the relentless battle against the Black Empire of the Old Gods, a conflict that spanned countless ages. Following the defeat and imprisonment of the Old Gods beneath Azeroth's surface, the Titan-forged embarked on a crucial mission to foster the growth of Azeroth's world soul. Central to this endeavor were two mighty machines, the Forge of Wills and the Forge of Origination. Ra was entrusted with installing the Forge of Origination. He then embarked on a journey to the southern reaches of Azeroth. However, his path led him to a startling discovery: the remains of the vanquished old god Yashara, including its immense and malevolent heart. Recognizing the danger these remnants posed, Ra made a fateful decision to contain them. He established a secure underground vault to house these remains, naming it the Vault of Yashara. To safeguard this vault and the surrounding lands, Ra assigned his loyal Mogu servants to stand as its guardians, ensuring that the remnants of Yashara remained sealed and dormant for eternity. After a challenging journey, Ra and his followers finally reached their destination. They installed the Forge of Origination, a monumental task that marked the birth of the great fortress of Uldum. This fortress became the southern bastion of the Titan Forged, a testament to their strength and determination. Assigning some of his Tol'vir and Anub'asath servants to protect this newly established area, Ra continued his quest further west. There he created the formidable fortress of Ahn'Qiraj, intended to serve as a prison for the malevolent old god Cthulhu. With this monumental task completed, Ra turned his attention to overseeing the southern regions of Azeroth, a duty he would faithfully fulfill for ages to come. On a stormy day, Ra and his Mogu companions ascended a towering mountain to bid farewell to the celestial creators. The legends speak of Ra's awe-inspiring display as he struck his weapon against a shield, commanding the storm to cease and the clouds to part. Underneath their feet, the mountain itself seemed to rise higher, while lightning and fire danced across the sky, illuminating the departing titans. The winds themselves seemed to join in a sorrowful yet majestic farewell. The Mogu who directly answered to Ra became known as the Rajani, a group of loyal and powerful beings dedicated to maintaining order and protecting the lands under Ra's watchful gaze. Sometime after his monumental tasks, Ra witnessed a pivotal moment in Azeroth's history, the empowering of the primitive proto-dragons and the creation of the 5 dragonflights. Drawing upon the potent energies of his creator, Aman'Thul, the Highkeeper bestowed upon the bronze dragon Nozdormu the powers to control time itself, a gift that would shape the course of history. As the Keepers diligently tended to their duties on Azeroth, a sudden and overwhelming surge of power washed over them, accompanied by a flood of fragmented memories. Perplexed by this strange occurrence, the Keepers reached out to the Pantheon for answers, seeking to understand the source and purpose of this mysterious influx. However, their inquiries were met with silence, leaving them to ponder this strange event in solitude. After an extended period of contemplation, Ra came to a startling realization. This surge of power was the final echo of the Pantheon spirits, lingering after their demise at the hands of the traitorous Sargeras. Determined to preserve this last vestige of his creators, Ra carefully extracted the lingering power of Aman'Thul and safeguarded it in a hidden mountain vault near the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. Overwhelmed by grief and the weight of this revelation, Ra made a solemn decision. He retreated into the depths of the catacombs beneath the land, relinquishing his role as the protector of the planet. With a heavy heart, he left his Titan-forged servants to carry on their work without him, as he sought solace and understanding in solitude. For ages, the loyal Mogu served their master, Ra Den, faithfully. Ra Den means Master Ra in the Mogu tongue, even as his voice fell strangely silent. However, their steadfast allegiance was tested when the curse of flesh struck, transforming their once stony beings into flesh and blood. As the Mogu grappled with their newfound forms, internal strife began to plague their ranks, yet Ra Den remained silent, offering no guidance. In the tumultuous era known as the Age of 100 Kings, a charismatic Mogu warlord named Lei Shen emerged, declaring his intention to awaken the gods. Lei Shen rallied his most loyal followers and ventured into the heart of the Thundering Mountain, where Ra Den dwelt in seclusion. Deep within the mountain's caverns, Lei Shen made a profound discovery, the towering figure of Ra Den, guarding a powerful Titan artifact known as the Engine of Nalak Shah. This encounter would set into motion a series of events that would forever change the fate of the Mogu and Azeroth itself. The arrival of Lei Shen, the Thunder King, brought no visible reaction from the silent Highkeeper Ra Den, even as the Mogu bombarded him with questions about their purpose. Days turned into weeks, and Lei Shen's frustration mounted as Ra remained unresponsive. It became apparent to the Mogu that Ra's silence was not a sign of contemplation, but rather a reflection of his despondence, his hope lost. In a fit of rage, Lei Shen accused Ra for forsaking the Titan's mission, hurling accusations of abandonment. These words jolted Ra from his desolate state, prompting him to reveal to the Mogu the repository where he had safeguarded the last remains of Aman'Thul's essence. The revelation that the Titans were no more did not crush Lei Shen's spirit as it had Ra's. Instead, the ambitious warlord resolved to take matters into his own hands, seeing an opportunity to seize power and continue the work of the Titans himself. Without warning, Lei Shen subdued Ra, binding the Highkeeper in chains and stealing both his power and the essence of Aman'Thul, though he was unable to harness Ra's 2 artifacts. With his newfound might, Lei Shen declared himself the Thunder King, and imposed his tyrannical rule over Pandaria until his eventual demise. Meanwhile, Ra Den was imprisoned in a hidden cell beneath the Throne of Thunder, forced to witness the consequence of his silence and the rise of a new era of tyranny. After eons of imprisonment beneath the Throne of Thunder, Ra Den was discovered by daring adventurers. Millennia of confinement and torment had shattered his spirit, leading him to a grim realization. Azeroth had become irreversibly tainted, its corruption beyond redemption. In his despair, Ra-Den concluded the only solution was annihilation. However, the adventurers intervened, offering Ra-Den a glimmer of hope for the world's future. Though he harbored doubts about mortals' ability to thwart the encroaching darkness, he acknowledged their tenacity and resolve. They had, in his eyes, earned the right to stand against the looming threat. With a final flash of lightning, Ra-Den disappeared, his whereabouts unknown for years to come. After emerging from the confines of the Throne of Thunder, Ra-Den sought solace in the silent sanctuary nestled within the Veil of Eternal Blossoms. Accompanied by his loyal Mogu servants, the Rajani, the High Keeper remained secluded, contemplating the world's fate. As the awakening of the old god N'Zoth sent tremors through Azeroth, adventurers and speaker Magni sought Ra-Den's aid. They hoped to wield the power of the engine of Nalak Shah, housed within the Forge of Origination, as a weapon against the encroaching darkness. However, Ra-Den grimly asserted that the looming threat surpassed even the might of Azeroth's champions. He recalled the ancient conflict against the Black Empire, where all the Keepers had united to emerge victorious. In an effort to sway Ra-Den, Stormkeeper Quion of the Rajani dispatched adventurers to secure a trophy from one of the Veil's besieged generals. This act was intended to demonstrate the urgency of the situation. Ra-Den, though acknowledging the valor displayed, remained cynical, noting the sheer number of Azeroth's foes and the inevitable tipping of the world's balance against it. Yet recognizing his past errors, he conceded that mortals had surprised him before. Deciding to offer the champions a chance to defy his expectations once more, Ra-Den revealed that the engine of Nalak Shah lay within the Mogushan vaults. This revelation opened the path for the champions to reactivate the ancient structure, a beacon of hope amidst encroaching darkness. With newfound hope ignited within him, Ra-Den entrusted the defense of the engine of Nalak Shah to the Rajani, and joined the adventurers on a journey to the Chamber of Heart. There, he aided in their quest to restore the Forge of Origination, a crucial step in preparing Azeroth for the looming threat of N'Zoth. As the adventurers ventured into the twisted realms of N'Zoth's horrific visions, they returned to find the Chamber of Heart under siege. N'Zoth's forces had launched a direct assault, seeking to corrupt the facility and its powerful artifacts. Ra-Den valiantly fought alongside the defenders, but as the tide turned in N'Zoth's favor, he turned to the adventurers, urging them to protect Azeroth at any cost. With a steadfast determination, Ra-Den unleashed a devastating lightning attack, aimed at sealing the portal to Ny'alotha. His sacrifice was swift and selfless as he hurled himself into the portal, ensuring its destruction even as he was pulled into the realm of the old god. Magni later reflected that without Ra-Den's sacrifice, N'Zoth would have seized control of the Chamber of Heart and potentially all of Azeroth. Ra-Den's sacrifice stood as a testament to his unwavering dedication to safeguarding the world. Immersed in the nightmarish depths of Ny'alotha, Ra-Den's lingering despair consumed the flicker of hope that had sustained him. The insidious whispers of N'Zoth twisted his noble spirit, transforming him into a malevolent servant of the old god. As his corruption deepened, Ra-Den's once virtuous essence became unrecognizable. His eventual confrontation and defeat atop the Terrace of Desolation by Azeroth's champions marked a tragic end to his noble legacy, leaving Magni and others mourning the loss of a once great defender of the world. Now I want to talk about Tyr. His beginning was like the rest of the Keepers. After having been empowered by the Titan Agrimar, he and Odyn fought and defeated Ragnaros. Then following those events, we jump to when he helped the Aspects fight Galakrond and be victorious, which led them to be endowed with the powers from the Titans through the Keepers. Now we move on to the next leg of Tyr's adventure. Tyr's involved in the story The War of the Scaleborn, which is the story of events before Dragonflight and going more in depth of the fight that the Aspects had with the Incarnates, which were led by Eridikron. Tyr approaches the Aspects about taking primal dragon eggs from the wilds and infusing them with order magic, which I'm fairly certain is just arcane magic, which is a way to ensure the Dragonflights thrive and weaken the Primalists. But I have to read the story to get the full idea of what's happening, so that's the very brief rundown because that's basically all the wiki said. But now I want to go into more detail about Lokin's rebellion from Tyr's perspective. In the shadowy grip of corruption, when darkness threatened to consume even the noblest hearts, Tyr stood steadfast against the tide. As his brethren succumbed to the insidious whispers of corruption, only he and Archaedes remained untainted by Lokin's treachery. Long before the tendrils of corruption ensnared Lokin, Tyr had sensed the looming darkness, a foreboding presence that lingered on the edge of perception. Thus, when the tempest of betrayal finally broke, he was prepared. his resolve unshaken by the chaos that ensued. With Lokin's legions closing in, Tyr, Archaedes, and their friend Ironea retreated to the remote reaches of Storm Peaks. There, amidst the rugged terrain and howling winds, they plotted their defiance against the encroaching darkness. As Lokin scoured the land in search of his elusive prey, the trio lay in wait, hidden from prying eyes. Their absence fueled rumors of their flight, leading Lokin to believe that they had fled beyond his grasp. But unbeknownst to their would-be captor, Tyr and his allies bided their time, their spirits unbroken and their determination unwavering in the face of adversity. Amidst the chaos of the Winterscorn War, as the clash between Vrykul and Earthen ignited from the frozen wastes, Tyr and his stalwart companions found themselves thrust into the heart of the conflict. Besieged by the relentless onslaught of the Winterscorn, the Earthen turned to Tyr for aid, their pleas echoing across the desolate landscape. With unwavering resolve, Tyr and his comrades emerged from the shadows, ready to lead the charge against the encroaching darkness. As battle raged on, Tyr and Archaedes forged a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, Truthguard, a shield imbued with the power to unveil Lokin's deceit and rally allies to their cause. Entrusting the artifact to the valiant Vrykul champion, Yargrim the Truthseeker, they kindled a spark of defiance that ignited a revolution within the ranks of their foes. Yet as the tide of war shifted and the Winterscorn returned with newfound allies astride mighty proto-dragons, Tyr knew that victory would require more than mere steel and stone. Calling upon the dragon aspects for aid, they unleashed a tempest of divine fury upon their adversaries, casting down the Vrykul and sending the Winterscorn into a deep slumber. And thus, with the echoes of battle fading into the icy winds, Tyr and his companions stood as beacons of hope in the darkness. With the threat of Lokin's plots looming ever larger, Tyr knew that decisive action was needed to thwart the malevolent plans of the treacherous Keeper. Determined to uncover the full extent of Lokin's betrayal, Tyr and his allies set their sights on a daring mission, to procure the Discs of Norgannon, which is a set of enchanted artifacts that transcribe the history of Azeroth as it unfolded, which would show the full story of Lokin's betrayal to the three. Before embarking on their perilous quest, Tyr made careful preparations enlisting the aid of the honored dragon aspects. Presenting them with a scale forged of pure silver, he entrusted them with a gift of great significance, a weapon against the shadows that threatened to engulf Azeroth. As the time for action drew near, Tyr bid farewell to his cherished companions, knowing that the path ahead was fraught with peril. Though their hearts yearned to accompany him to the unknown, Tyr insisted that his quest was one that only he and his fellow keepers could undertake. And so, with determination burning bright in their hearts, Tyr, Ironea, and Archaedes set forth into the unknown, their resolve unyielding, their spirits unbroken, ready to confront the darkness that lurked at the heart of their world. Amidst the towering spires of Ulduar, Tyr enacted a daring gambit to distract Lokin, while his companions embarked on a perilous mission to steal the coveted Disc of Norgannon. As Tyr engaged Lokin in a battle of wits at the entrance of Ulduar, Archaedes and Ironea slipped into the heart of the Titan stronghold, their movements shrouded in shadows as they sought to liberate the disc from the captor's grasp. With the precious artifacts secured, the trio made a daring escape to the treacherous Storm Peaks, their path fraught with danger at every turn. Far from the prying eyes of their pursuers, they sought sanctuary in a distant refuge, where they could unravel the mysteries contained within the discs and forge a plan to confront the looming threat. Empowered by their resolve and bolstered by a divisive band of allies, including Vrykul, Earthen, and Mechanomes, Tyr and his companions prepared to embark on a journey into the unknown. But even as they set forth, Jotun remained behind, a solitary guardian against the tide of darkness, determined to buy them precious time in their quest for salvation. And if you'd like to know more about Jotun, I do talk about him in my Storm Peaks video. As news of the theft reached Lokin's ears, a chill of dread gripped his heart, for he knew that the stolen discs held secret that could seal his fate. Fearing the wrath of the Pantheon should they uncover the truth, he unleashed his monstrous minions, the fearsome Cathraxi, upon Tyr and his valiant companions. For weeks the relentless pursuit drove Tyr and his allies to the ends of the earth, until they found respite in a tranquil glade, far removed from the chaos of their fight. With unwavering resolve, Tyr made the ultimate sacrifice, standing firm against the onslaught of the Cathraxi, his courage undimmed even in the face of certain death. For 6 long days and nights, the clash of titans echoed through the glade, as Tyr fought with every ounce of strength within him. Yet as the shadows of defeat loomed large, he made a final selfless gesture, unleashing a blinding explosion of energy that consumed both himself and his foe. In the aftermath of the battle, the wounded Cathix fled into the shadows, vanishing into the depths of the wilderness, while Tyr's companions mourned the loss of their noble friend. But though his physical form may have perished, Tyr's sacrifice would forever be remembered as a beacon of hope in the darkness. In a solemn tribute to their fallen comrade, Ironea christened the serene glade as Tyr's Fall, a poignant reminder of the heroism and sacrifice witnessed within its tranquil borders. The Vrykul tongue breathed life into the name, shaping it into the evocative Tyr's Fall. With reverence and awe, they erected a grand tomb upon the hollowed ground, laying Tyr and his adversary to rest side by side. Atop the sacred mound, Tyr's argent hand gleamed in the sunlight, a symbol of his unwavering valor and selflessness. Within the solemn confines of the tomb, they enshrined Tyr's legendary weapon, the Silver Hand, preserving his legacy for eternity. Inspired by his noble sacrifice, the Vrykul pledged to stand as eternal guardians of his final resting place, their unwavering vigil a testament to the depth of their reverence. Meanwhile, Archaedes and Ironea and their steadfast companions embarked on a new journey, venturing southward to forge their own destiny. Their path led them to the ancient halls of Uldaman, where they would carve out a new home amidst the echoes of history, their spirits forever intertwined with the legacy of their fallen friend. In a poignant act of foresight, Tyr had woven the essence of his being into a sacred disc, entrusting its guardianship to Archaedes and Ironea. This repository of memories, known as the Discs of Tyr, held the wisdom and guidance that would illuminate the path forward in his absence. Bound by an unbreakable oath, Archaedes and Ironea safeguarded the precious artifact, awaiting the moment when destiny would beckon them forth. For within the hollowed depths of the discs lay the keys to unlocking the mysteries of Azeroth's fate, a legacy of wisdom to be passed on to those deemed worthy. As the sands of time unfurled and the world stood on the precipice of uncertainty, the Discs of Tyr stood as a beacon of hope, their secrets awaiting revelation by the chosen guardians of destiny. And when the time finally arrived, the dragon aspects would be entrusted with the solemn duty of heeding Tyr's counsel, guiding the course of history with the wisdom of ages past. And when the time finally arrived, the dragon aspects would be entrusted with the solemn duty of heeding Tyr's counsel, guiding the course of history with the wisdom of ages past. Across generation, the Vrykul wove tales of valor and sacrifice, ensuring that the legend of Tyr and his Silver Hand endured as a cherished legacy among their human descendants. From the ashes of ancient lore rose Tyr's Guard, an order sworn to protect the sanctity of his tomb, their solemn vigil spanning millennia. Yet as the ages unfurled their tapestry of mysteries, the fate of Tyr's Hand remained veiled in uncertainty. Yet the echo of its presence lingered, casting an indelible mark upon the annals of human history. The resonance of Tyr's sacrifice echoed far beyond the confines of Tirisfal, permeating the very essence of human society. In homage to his memory, the city of Tyr's Hand rose, a bastion of resilience and fortitude against the tides of darkness. And from the embers of legend emerged the Knights of the Silver Hand, champions of righteousness and champions of self-sacrifice, their valorous deeds echoing the legacy of their revered originator. Now within Legion there is mentions of Tyr, but Tyr isn't directly involved. The only things that involve Tyr are various artifact quests that we get sent on. I think it's the Priest, Warrior, and Paladin get sent on different quests involving Tyr or his tomb. So I didn't really think it was worth going over entirely. However, in the future I would like to go over pretty much the entire quest line for each class in Legion, because it is a substantial quest line, and I think it's pretty interesting to go over since I've personally never really done the full quest line on any character. So I think it'd be kind of fun to do in the future, but it didn't really seem to fit right now going into the full detail. But I do go into a little bit of the detail of the Paladin quest when I go over the Storm Peaks video talking about Jotun. So if you'd like to see that, check it out. But otherwise, let's hop over to Dragonflight, where Tyr is directly involved and a lot of stuff happens. In the depths of Uldaman, a hidden chamber known as the Legacy of Tyr has been unearthed, revealing secrets long forgotten by time. Within its ancient halls lies a relic of immense significance, the Discs of Tyr. Forged in ages past, these mysterious discs hold within them the memories and wisdom of the valiant Watcher. Entrusted to the faithful guardians Ironea and Archaedes, alongside the revered Discs of Norgannon, They are said to contain a crucial message destined for the dragon aspects. However, before the Seekers of Knowledge can lay their hands upon the treasured artifact, a disruptive force emerges from the depths of time itself. The infinite dragon Chrono Lord Dios, wielding the power of temporal manipulation, intervenes, whisking away the discs to a distant era beyond reach. Thus, the pursuit of Tyr's legacy takes an unexpected turn, as the tendrils of time intertwine with the quest for truth. In a land veiled by mystery and ancient power, a remarkable artifact stirs from its slumber. The Silver Scale, a dragon scale crafted of pure silver, resonates with a newfound vitality, its shimmering surface aglow with arcane energies. Sensing the significance of this awakening, the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza calls upon a valiant adventurer to journey to Tyrhold, a bastion steeped in the echoes of a bygone era. Accompanied by the vigilant watcher Kuranos, they embark on a quest to unravel the enigma that surrounds the pulsating scale. As they delve into the depths of Tyrhold, the adventurers uncover fragments of a forgotten past, piecing together cryptic messages left by the legendary watcher Tyr. These ancient messages speak of treachery in flight, shedding light on the machinations of the corrupted Lokin and the desperate escape of Tyr, Archaedes, and Ironea from the clutches of Ulduar's darkness. With each revelation, the scale's resonance grows, resonating with the echoes of history. And as the final fragment falls into place, the dragon aspects themselves descend upon Tyrhold, drawn by the beckoning call of destiny. In a breathtaking display of temporal insight, Nozdormu unveils a vision, a glimpse into the monumentous exchange when Tyr bestowed the scale upon the dragons, a gesture of friendship and unity that reverberates through the ages. As Alexstrasza reflects on the dragons' triumphs and the legacy of their revered guardian Tyr, an unexpected revelation unfolds. A Titan orb, dormant for ages, springs to life in response to her words, projecting a spectral visage of Tyr himself. In a solemn message from beyond the veil of mortality, Tyr imparts urgent counsel to the dragon aspects. He speaks of a looming peril, a moment of dire need foreseen from the realms beyond the living. With unwavering resolve, he directs them to his ancient forge, the crucible of his power and essence. As a silver scale is respectfully placed upon the forge's console, a surge of arcane energy courses through the chamber. It intertwines with legendary Titan steel ingots, relics of Agrimar's divine craftsmanship, safeguarded within the halls of infusion by the vigilant watcher Archaedes. A new form begins to take shape, an empty vessel forged from echoes of Tyr's essence, awaiting the spark of consciousness. Yet the task remains incomplete, the path forward veiled in uncertainty. Guided by the whispers of time itself, Nozdormu discerns a latent potential within the Silver Scale, an untapped reservoir of memories, unbound by the constraints of mortal existence. Thus a daring expedition is undertaken, led by intrepid adventurers and the steadfast watcher Kuranos. In the dim recesses of the tomb, echoes of Tyr's final moments are unearthed, a poignant testament to his sacrifice and valor. With solemn reverence, these memories are enshrined within the vessel, a fleeting flicker of life breathed into its form. Yet as the echoes of Tyr's essence stir within the vessel, a fleeting glimmer of hope emerges, a beacon of possibility in the darkness. The journey is far from over, and the legacy of Tyr, guardian of Azeroth, lives on, awaiting his moment to shine once more. In the aftermath of the cataclysmic events known as the Dawn of the Infinite, a coalition of unlikely allies embarked on a daring quest to recover the lost discs of Tyr. Led by Chromie and the enigmatic Eternius, they ventured across time and space, placing arcane beacons at pivotal moments in history. With the aid of Chromie's temporal magic, they pinpointed the whereabouts of one of the elusive discs, held captive within the formidable Nighthold, under the watchful gaze of the arcane sorceress Elisanda. After a harrowing confrontation with Farrak and his minions, the intrepid band, accompanied by a valiant adventurer, breached the Nighthold's defenses. In a realm untouched by the passage of time, they engaged Elisanda in a battle of wills, persuading her to relinquish Tyr's long-lost disc. With the disc secured and the Silver Scale in their possession, the stage was set for a momentous reunion. As the ancient rituals were performed, Tyr's essence was summoned forth, drawn from the abyss of oblivion to greet the world once more. In a momentous reunion, the long-lost artifacts, the discs of Tyr and the Silver Scale converged, signaling the revival of Tyr. As he emerged from the shadows of the past, he was met by Alexstrasza and Nozdormu, witnesses to his resurrection. Amidst the joyous reunions, Tyr's companions delivered somber tidings of the passage of time, revealing the fate of his former comrades, Malygos, Ysera, and Neltharion. Neltharion succumbed to corruption inflicted by the Old Gods, leading adventurers to confront and ultimately defeat him. Subsequently, Ysera fell victim to the insidious influence of the Emerald Nightmare. Upon her demise, Elune intervened at the request of Tyrande, purifying Ysera's spirit. Meanwhile, Malygos became consumed by his idea that the mortal spellcasters may end up bringing the Burning Legion to Azeroth as the Highborn once did. His descent into madness solidified his conviction that mortals were incapable of responsibly wielding magic. In a desperate bid to assert control, he tapped into the ley lines coursing through Northrend, redirecting their power to his domain within the Nexus. However, the consequences were dire, as the unleashed magical energies proved volatile and dangerous. These events culminated in what would be known as the Nexus War. Recognizing the danger Malygos posed, Alexstrasza made the difficult decision to end his reign. With the aid of adventurers and support from the Red Dragonflight, Malygos was ultimately defeated, bringing an end to his life. Even as the torchbearers of old faded into memory, new aspects had risen to take their place, ushering in a new era of guardianship. Seeking clarity amidst the shifting tides of destiny, Tyr inquired about the purpose behind his rebirth. With a solemn gaze, Alexstrasza recounted their initial intentions, forged in the crucible of necessity, now tempered by the dawning of a new age, an era defined by peace and camaraderie. Eager to embrace his newfound role, Tyr was introduced to the stalwart defenders of his legacy, the Tyr's Guard. Gathered at their new bastion Tyr's Rest, with a nod of assent, he accepted the mantle of leadership, ready to impart his wisdom and guidance to those who sought it. As Tyr settled into the sanctuary of Tyr's Rest alongside his loyal guard, a sense of curiosity mingled with the weight of responsibility. Travard, ever dutiful, sought to discern Tyr's will in this unfamiliar era. In a moment of contemplation, Tyr confessed his need for understanding, admitting to the vast chasm of knowledge that separated him from the present reality. Questions lingered, like echoes of a forgotten past, beckoning him to unravel the mysteries of this changed world. Travard, ever the steward of wisdom, shed light upon the fate of Tyr's once loyal Vrykul soldiers, now reborn as the resilient lineage of humanity. Stirred by this revelation, Tyr recognized the call to embrace his role as a beacon of knowledge and guidance. Thus, with clarity and purpose, Tyr's will took shape. A collective endeavor to bridge the chasm between past and present, to unravel the enigmas of this new age. The Tyr's Guard, steadfast in their loyalty, pledged themselves to this noble quest, eager to serve as both guardians and scholars in Tyr's pursuit of enlightenment. Across the lands of Azeroth, whispers of hope spread among the Paladin orders, fueled by the prospect of Tyr's return as a unifying force. Yet amidst these murmurs of anticipation, a question lingered in the hearts of many. Where would Tyr's path lead next? In the quiet moments that followed, Talthis, ever bold and resolute, dared to pose this question to Tyr himself. With a sage's wisdom and humility, Tyr expressed his desire to tread cautiously, to walk the roads of this unfamiliar world with a seeker's heart. For Tyr understood that true change began not with grand gestures or bold declarations, but with a humble willingness to listen, to learn, and to grow. And so with Tyr's Rest as their sanctuary and the journey of discovery as their guide, Tyr and his loyal guard embarked upon a quest that would shape the destiny of Azeroth itself. In the wake of his revival and subsequent discussions with the Paladins, Tyr found himself grappling with the vast chasm between the ancient past and the modern present. Though heartened by the continuation of his legacy through the Tyr's Guard and Knights of the Silver Hand, he couldn't shake the feeling of alienation from the world he once knew. Travard, however, saw Tyr's return as a beacon of inspiration for those who upheld order, hinting at a deeper purpose yet to unfold, a sentiment Tyr hoped to embrace. Amidst the blossoming of Yggdrasil, Tyr and Kharanos embarked on a journey to the newly emerged World Tree. Reflecting on the changes around them, Tyr confided in Kharanos about his apprehensions regarding the transformed world and its unfamiliar inhabitants. Similarly, Kharanos admitted his own uncertainties about his newfound role. Yet in the midst of uncertainty, they found solace in the idea of observing and safeguarding this new world, leaving Tyr with much to contemplate as he ventured forward. Now we arrive at the final four keepers, but only one of them has a more intricate backstory, and that being Thorim. So let's cover Thorim first and then end on the remaining three, Mimiron, Archaedes, and Hodir. In the grand tapestry of cosmic history, Thorim emerged as one of the illustrious keepers, forged by the Pantheon's divine hand to stand as a bulwark against the encroaching darkness of the old gods. Blessed with formidable might by Golganeth himself, Thorim alongside Hodir and Ra waged epic battles against the formidable Alakir the Windlord, eventually vanquishing the elemental threat. Entrusted with the sacred duty of safeguarding Ulduar and the Terrace of the Makers, Thorim stood as a stalwart defender in the ancient pacts forged among the frosty races. Among his closest allies were the sons of Hodir, bound by bonds of friendship forged in the crucible of shared purpose. In a bygone era, the ingenious keeper Mimiron crafted the Thunderspark, a potent artifact that fueled the Titan Strike, a weapon of awe-inspiring power wielded by Thorim himself. Together they stood as champions of order and guardians of Azeroth's fragile balance. Yet tragedy darkened Thorim's path when corruption seeped into the hallowed halls of Ulduar, poisoning the minds of his brethren. Betrayed by the twisted machinations of Lokin, Thorim was ensnared in a web of deceit, led to believe that his beloved wife Sif had been slain by the frost giants under King Argrim's command. Consumed by grief and righteous fury, Thorim unleashed his mighty hammer Krolmir in a cataclysmic act of vengeance. The thunderous impact of its descent rent the earth asunder, freezing the tragic tableau in eternal stasis, a grim monument to betrayal and loss, forever known as Thunderfall. Haunted by the specter of his beloved's demise, Thorim retreated to the solemn confines of the Temple of Storms, gripped by the weight of sorrow and regret. For millennia, he languished in a somber state, while the sons of Hodir grappled with the shocking betrayal that shattered their world. In the turbulent era of the Lich King's reign, a beacon of hope emerged from the shadows of despair. With the aid of intrepid adventurers, Thorim, once ensnared in the icy grip of sorrow, found redemption amidst the frigid peaks of Northrend. Awakened from his long slumber by the whispers of fate, Thorim resolved to confront the betrayer Lokin and reclaim his tarnished honor. In a pact forged in the crucible of shared purpose, he joined forces with the stalwart adventurers, their hearts united in a quest for justice and redemption. Guided by the indomitable spirit of Thorim, the sons of Hodir rallied to his cause, beckoning brave souls to aid them in healing the wounds of old and bridging the chasm that divided Frost Giant and Keeper. Through acts of courage and compassion, the rift that once threatened to tear their kin asunder began to mend, paving the way for reconciliation and unity. In a fervent quest to reclaim his lost honor and seek vengeance against his deceitful kin, Thorim embarked on a daring campaign to confront his treacherous brother. Armed with his legendary weapon and clad in his armor, he marched forth to wage war against the shadows that had tainted his legacy. Yet unbeknownst to Thorim, his valiant pursuit was but a pawn in the twisted schemes of Lokin, the mastermind behind the web of deception woven to ensnare the noble keeper. With cunning and guile, Lokin orchestrated a malevolent scheme to lure Thorim from the sanctuary of the Temple of Storms, where his dark influence held sway. As Thorim fell into the trap laid by his duplicitous brother, he found himself ensnared in the clutches of darkness, his valiant spirit shackled by the insidious power of Yogg-Saron, the malevolent old god lurking within the depths of Ulduar. Alongside his faithful proto-drake Varanus, Thorim was whisked away to the heart of the ancient Titan stronghold, where the whispers of madness echoed throughout the corridors of his mind, and his once noble dragon was turned into what is now known as Razorscale. Following Ulduar and all the keepers being released from Yogg-Saron's control, we find Thorim and Legion next. Forged by the ingenious keeper Mimiron as a token of camaraderie for his esteemed ally Thorim, the legendary firearm known as Titan Strike bore witness to a tumultuous journey through time. Crafted with precision and imbued with the essence of thunderous might, this artifact of divine craftsmanship held within it the fabled Thunderspark, a source of unimaginable power coveted by mortals and titans alike. Yet as the tides of fate unfurled, Titan Strike found itself ensnared in the clutches of treachery and intrigue. Pilfered from the hallowed halls of Ulduar, the gun embarked on a harrowing odyssey that led it to the windswept shores of Shield's Rest, nestled amidst the mysterious Broken Isles. Amidst the chaos of the Burning Legion's onslaught, the coveted relic fell once more into the hands of the Vrykul warrior of formidable prowess, Prostaga. Her ambitions ignited by the allure of divine power. With fervent determination, she set her sights on unearthing the Titan Spark concealed within Titan Strike, harboring dreams of ascension to the ranks of the divine. In a clash of titanic proportions, Thorim, the stalwart guardian in the Temple of Storms, found himself thrust into the heart of the fray. Joined by the brilliant mind of Mimiron, The valiant hunter Griff Wildheart, who's actually a hunter from Dunmorrow who teaches the dwarf hunters there, and a familiar ally from battles long past. Thorim braced himself for a confrontation that would shape the fate of worlds. Against the backdrop of thunderous strikes and crackling energy, Thorim and his steadfast companions waged a battle of wills against the empowered Prostaga. Fueled by the primal energies coursing through Thunderstrike, she unleashed the full extent of her might in a bid to reshape the destiny of her people and defy the judgment of the Keepers. In a symphony of chaos and heroism, the fate of Thunderstrike hung in the balance, its storied legacy bound to the outcome of this epic struggle. As lightning danced across the battlefield and thunder echoed through the heavens, the destiny of worlds collided in a clash that would echo through the ages. In the heat of battle, amidst the crackling energies of Thunderstrike, a loyal companion emerged from the shadows. Hodir, the faithful wolf, stood ready to defend its master. With primal instincts of flame and ferocity unmatched, Hodir lunged forth, its fangs bared in a symphony of fury. As the thundersparks surged with unchecked power, threatening to consume both wielder and foe alike, Hodir's valiant charge became a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Sensing the imminent danger, the hunter forged a bond with their stalwart companion, intertwining their souls in a pact born of necessity and kinship. With newfound resolve, Thorim entrusted Titanstrike to the hunter's capable hands, charging them with the sacred duty to wield its thunderous might. United as one, hunter and wolf stood as champions against the encroaching darkness, their bond forged in battle and tempered by the fires of adversity. In the solemn halls of Ulduar, where ancient oaths bound the keepers to duty, a clarion call echoed through the realm. Heimdall, the vigilant guardian, sounded the Yaller horn, a call that stirred the very foundations of the Titan-forged stronghold. Yet as the reverberations of the horn faded, a shadow loomed over the hollowed halls. Thorim delivered grim tidings. The Burning Legion had set their sights on Ulduar's sacred domain. Bound by duty and honor, the Keepers stood poised to defend their ancestral home. In a bold display of unity, Odyn, Lord of the Valajar, dispatched his stalwart warriors to bolster the defenders of Ulduar. Despite the Legion's relentless onslaught, Thorim rallied the forces of Ulduar, vowing to stand as one against the encroaching darkness. Amidst the chaos of battle, Hodir, Lord of Winter's Chill, fell into the clutches of the Legion's grasp. Undeterred by the odds stacked against them, Thorim marshaled the strength of Ulduar, pledging their aid to the valiant Valajar. Together they embarked in a daring rescue mission, braving the depths of the Legion's realm to free Hodir from his torment. With valor as their guide and unity as their shield, Thorim and his allies confronted the Legion's forces, determined to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. In the throes of the Fourth War's chaos, Thorim's sacred temple became a battleground once more. As the clash subsided, victory lay within their grasp, yet Thorim himself lay stricken, his strength waning. In a twist of fate, Griff and a valiant hunter bearing the weight of destiny upon their shoulders stumbled upon the essence of Hades amidst the aftermath of battle. With steely resolve, they faced this spectral remnant, confronting the echoes of past adversaries with courage and determination. In a clash of wills and steel, the hunters emerged triumphant, binding the essence within the Thunderspark, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to engulf them all. As the essence dissipated, its hold over Thorim shattered, setting the Keeper free from his chains of torment. With renewed purpose burning in his heart, Thorim wasted no time, teleporting to the heart of Silithus, the Wound. There, amidst the scars of war and the lingering echoes of ancient evils, he invoked the power of Korlmir, a symbol of his indomitable will, to confront the essence of Hades once more. In a blaze of divine energy, Thorim unleashed his fury upon the spectral wolf, shattering its grip on Griff and banishing the shadows that sought to enslave them. With Hades' essence restored, a flicker of hope ignited in the darkness, a testament to the resilience of heroes in the face of adversity. Amidst the aftermath of the climactic conflict against the jailer, the brothers Bronzebeard made a pilgrimage to the hallowed ground of the Temple of Storms. There they found Thorim, wrestling with the weight of his past. In their heartfelt exchange, the brothers sensed a glimmer of hope in Thorim's demeanor, a faint echo of the valor that once defined him. With genuine concern, they inquired about his loyal companion, the elusive Wolf Skull, and the whereabouts of Jotun, whose absence cast a shadow over the Dragonblight. Thorim, ever the enigma, offered cryptic responses, his gaze drifting into the horizon as if searching for answers in the windswept peaks. With a sheepish grin, he assured the brothers that Skull would find his way home in due time, though the mystery of Jotun's disappearance remained unresolved. As their conversation unfolded, Thorim's mind seemed adrift, his thoughts scattered like leaves in the tempest. Mistaking Bran for another, he brushed aside Muradin's suggestion with the dismissive wave. His focus tethered to the mysteries that lingered beyond the reaches of mortal comprehension. As I mentioned earlier, the remaining 3 figures in this tale don't have as much information, but let's start with Archaedes. He offers little more than what's already been shared in Tyr's narrative. One notable addition to his tale is his role in constructing the Chamber of Heart, a sanctuary dedicated to nurturing Azeroth's world soul. Following the events of the Winterscorn War and escaping the Cathraxi, both Archaedes and Ironea entered a deep hibernation within the vaults of Uldaman, their rest undisturbed until the arrival of intrepid adventurers many years later. Despite prevailing theories suggesting his dormancy, whispers persist that Archaedes is not deceased but rather incapacitated, leaving open the tantalizing possibility of his eventual reawakening. Now we move on to Mimiron. Following his triumph over Neptulon, Mimiron faced a dire turn of events orchestrated by the cunning Lokin, who plotted his demise. Yet fortune favored the ingenious inventor, as his loyal Mechanome followers managed to salvage his essence and fashion a new mechanical body, ensuring his continued existence. However, the ordeal left Mimiron's mind in a precarious state, his once brilliant intellect clouded by lingering traces of instability. Subsequently, Mimiron and his fellow Watchers fell victim to corruption, ensnared within the malevolent confines of Ulduar. It was only through the courage and determination of brave adventurers that they were liberated from their sinister captors, emerging from the shadows to aid in the defense of Azeroth. In the tumultuous era of Legion's onslaught, Mimiron resurfaced, offering invaluable assistance to a courageous hunter seeking the legendary weapon known as Titan Strike, with giving the adventurer the idea to go and seek out Thorim and then helping save Hodir after the fight. Later on, Mimiron helps adventurers locate Hodir, whose spirit was thought to be lost after Titan Strike's power was expended against the Sword of Sargeras. But thanks to Mimiron, he figured out that Hodir survived and could possibly be saved. Together with Griff, the Huntmaster, and Thorim, they ventured to Silithus to retrieve Hodir's essence and bring him back to life. Thanks to their efforts, the loyal wolf was back with his master. As the saga unfolds, we turn our gaze to Hodir, the stalwart guardian of the Temple of Winter. His valor in the battle against Alakir the Windlord is but a prelude to the shadowy veil that shrouds his fate thereafter. Amidst the treacherous schemes of Lokin, Hodir vanishes into the depths of obscurity, ensnared by the tendrils of deceit that grip the heart of Ulduar. In a tragic twist of fate, Lokin's minions, fueled by malevolent intent, descended upon the sacred grounds of the Temple of Winter, casting a pall of destruction in their wake. The once serene haven is plunged into chaos, its tranquility shattered by the fury of the fire giant's onslaught. Caught in the grip of betrayal, Hodir's noble spirit is ensnared within the icy confines of Ulduar, his absence a haunting testament to the fragility of trust in the face of darkness. As the resounding call of the Yallar horn echoed through the hollowed halls of Ulduar, a solemn oath whispered through the ages, binding the keepers to its sacred summons. Yet, despite their unwavering allegiance, the Titanic Guardians found themselves shackled by the chains of circumstance. For in the shadows of invasion, the Burning Legion descended upon Ulduar's bastions. With grim determination, Odyn rallied the Valajar, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness, as they clashed with the demonic legion in a desperate struggle for survival. Amidst the chaos of battle, Hodir chased the retreating demons through a shimmering portal, his mighty form disappearing into the abyss of unknown realms. In the shadowed realm of Niskara, Hodir's noble spirit became tainted by the insidious influence of the Legion, his once untarnished resolve twisted by the sinister schemes of his captors. Yet, in the face of despair, hope flickered like a solitary flame in the darkness, as Thorim and the Valajar ventured forth to free their fallen comrade from the shackles of corruption. With valor and determination, they waged a daring rescue mission, braving the depths of infernal realms to reclaim Hodir from the clutches of oblivion. And as they emerged triumphant, the Icy Guardian stood redeemed, his gratitude a testament to the unbreakable bonds forged in the crucible of battle. In a gesture of loyalty and solidarity, Hodir pledged himself to the cause of the Battle Lord, his valor immortalized within the halls of Skyhold, where he would stand as a stalwart champion against the encroaching shadows of darkness. In the wake of the conflict with the jailer, a welcome change descends upon the Temple of Winter. With Hodir's liberation, the frigid winds once more enveloped the sanctuary, a testament to the enduring spirit of resilience and the triumph of hope amidst the darkness that threatens to engulf us all. And that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you did enjoy. This one took longer than I thought it would, but I learned quite a bit, so it was fun. If you made it this far, much appreciated. If you watched the video at all, much appreciated. You're awesome. You're doing great. Keep it up. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.